I really have not talked about sex a ton in videos. I think I talked about the Multi-Orgasmic Man, which is a book, amazing book that I read years ago and been practicing those techniques for years as well. But sex is, I think, one of the biggest areas for us to transform as a human species, to change the way we approach it, talk about it more, to be more open about it, to get a deeper understanding of what the hell is going on and why it's such a problem for so many of us. So I think we'll be talking about it a lot more. That feels very right for me. The intuitive life coaching is definitely something that's in tune, and then also this sexual part of relationships I think is going to be something I talk about a lot, both in videos and maybe with people and couples as well. I don't know yet. But I feel like it's so important. It's so misunderstood. It's so not talked about. So what I'll talk about first in this video is just my experience and the transformation I've had in this realm so far. Like I said before, I I read the Multi-Orgasmic Man years ago, and then I started the practice of non-ejaculatory sex, and I've been doing that for years. And the reason for the practice is that ejaculation is super draining for men. Super, it's your life force. It's your life force energy, you're shooting it out, and it's gone, right? And so it causes premature aging and just such a drain on the masculine ability to exist. It's a massive drain. By the time you're 30, you should probably only ejaculate like once a month. So, and then it goes down from there until basically never when you're older as a man. Obviously, when you're a very young man, you have a lot of energy, a lot of sexual energy, and so ejaculating a lot is normal when you're young. But this is just something that changes as you age, so you can maintain more and more of your vital energy. And it changes sex in amazingly beneficial ways for both partners. Hugely beneficial ways. It's like the point of ejaculation is to create new life. So if you're not having sex to create new life, then have a different kind of sex, right? And I'm not saying don't have orgasms, because there is a way to have a full body orgasm where you're bringing the energy up into your whole body, right? Up through your chakras and up through your spine, instead of shooting it out of your penis. And then it's gone, right? So you can have this, you can still experience, and I have not perfected this. This is something that I'm still working on, this full body, orgasmic experience. But I am able to connect very deeply and intimately and beautifully with my partner while having non-ejaculatory sex, which is just so fulfilling. Now what's come up lately is I'm reading two books. One is Cupid's Poisoned Arrow, that was recommended to me by a wonderful friend, that really illuminates a lot of what's going on with orgasm and the mammalian brain, and how basically when we have an orgasm, and I think this is true for men and women, I started the book yesterday, so there's so much more to learn. But basically what happens is it starts this whole process in our brain that basically says this current partner that you've already tried to make a baby with is no longer interesting to you. I think it's so women have a number of different kinds of orgasms based on the different part of their anatomy that is stimulated, the yoni. But for men, it's pretty much you either have an ejaculatory orgasm or you can have a full body internal orgasm. And when you have that ejaculatory orgasm, you start this cycle where you are biologically wired to start looking for new people because it's genetics. And I think when women have a clitoral orgasm, it can be very similar to a man's, ejaculatory orgasm. And so the same cycle starts where our genetics are programmed to find a new mate that is different than us, so that our genes have a better chance to propagate into reality. And the book talks all about this. I think it's really interesting. It makes a lot of sense. It explains why You know, we get very close to partners quickly in relationships. We have a lot of fun, and then it just kind of it falls apart, right? Why does this happen? I noticed myself that when I've been practicing non-ejaculatory orgasm, that is way less of a thing, right? And so I've already had an experience of this, and it totally validates what's in the book. And the other book I've started reading is Jewel in the Lotus, which is about Tantra. And I can already tell, like, this opens a lot of doors to a lot of really interesting things. It is related, very related to the material in the other two books as well. So all of these things are overlapping and giving us more and more of the complete picture of human sexuality and like what the hell has been going on. Why is it such a dang mess? How do we change our habits? And really the big one is to change is not chasing after orgasm, because we do it all the time. I think that's the number one key issue that we were experiencing, is chasing, both men and women, is chasing orgasm. And it really, it's so limiting. Like, it's just like chasing after any other addiction that we have. Chasing after money, chasing after the sexy person to have the sex with, to have the orgasm with, chasing after a car or a career, you name it, right? None of these things are ultimately fulfilling. And just like orgasm, those superficial orgasms are not fulfilling. They're a release, right? And a release that can be very expensive for us, for our bodies. We're just releasing energy, and we're not circulating it, we're not using it constructively. So this is the intro to I don't know what. The intro to James talking about sex, I guess. So yeah, more to follow. Stay tuned. Do book reviews, and I don't, who knows? Talking about my experiences. I don't know what's gonna happen, but this is the start of a new phase. So welcome aboard.